raised?
I am born and raised here. So first of all, I'm Chuck Callahan. You know, the people that don't know me, and I'll be running for my third term, and proud of it. But I am born and raised here. Went to school here. Have raised my family here. I've had several generations of family here. I took over my father's business. Yep, yeah. I own F Callahan Contracting. I own Eastern Millwork, and I own Energy Savers. So I'm involved in the construction world. We do custom stuff. We do only residential work. So you know, I've been very successful. I've been with my dad for 38 years doing that. So you know, it's been great. I'm an only child. So you know, my mom passed away unfortunately, but my dad's still hanging in there, and he goes around with me working and stuff like that. So you know, I've got a great family.
Who's West, by the way?
West was Pee Wee West. That was my dad's partner for almost 30 years, and I had basically two fathers. I had my dad and Pee Wee. So you know, as a young age, at 11, 12 years old, and being in the construction world and growing up with that, very, very fortunate to be quality homes around Talbot County that we've built a mess of them. But you know, being raised by those two and learning the craft with how things are done right. So I was very fortunate to be around that for all my life. So it makes a difference. And you know, my son is with us now. And you know, hopefully in years to come, it'd be, you know, I doubt he'd be sitting here. He probably won't be sitting here. You know, I'm an Elks member, been, you know, in the Elks for 20, almost 30 years. But sort of a really big thing in my life was the fire department, okay? So I got in the fire department when I was 18 years old, when there was a waiting list for a year to get in. So, and I'm a life member now. So I was an EMT for years. I was an engineer for years, driving the fire trucks. So a really big part of my life has been the fire department, in the volunteerism, on all that, learning emergency services. The mindset of being a firefighter, once you are and you have that in your blood, you have it forever. You have it forever. Every time that fire whistle blows, you want to rush out to kind of help somebody. You know, and being in that environment for years, you know, it's a different person that wants to go into a burning building and save a life, you know, or an accident, or trying to help somebody save their life. So, you know, I thought maybe I wanted to do that as a career, and I was tossed up a little bit that I want to be a paramedic and do that. But, you know, being in the family business, you know, I tried to do both, but, you know, when I and started having a family when I'm 30 years old, I had to sort of pick one of the two. Yeah. So I did more of the volunteer stuff and then, you know, worked with my dad. So, you know, in 8 years ago, you know, I was 48 years old, I'm 56 now. You know, at that time, you know, my life had changed. I had, you know, Julie, which is my fiance now. And, you know, at the time, she was a little bit into politics and enjoyed it. And, you know, in my career, I was really, really connected a lot with planning and zoning, permits, inspections. You know, had a really big passion of school with the VOTEC, the old school VOTEC. Now it's a CRT program. So I thought with my life, okay, in my experiences, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to sort of maybe help people understand and give them some guidance where I thought I could feel like I could give my experiences and help the community. So, you know, I really felt that I could really contribute my experiences with some of the things that I felt like from 8 years ago, it's a lot different. And I really felt like my communication skills were genuine, loyal, and true. And that's how I've always really represented myself and my character. That you might not want to hear it, but at the same time, this is what it is. Yeah. So I've enjoyed it a lot. I've had some big challenges being vice president and president of the council, and it's really gave me life skills that are really going to stay with me the rest of my life. And to be up there when the whole light's on you and you're running the meeting, okay, you have to really be pretty sharp. Things can come at you at any direction, and you have to keep a cool head. You can't get upset. It's a whole different way of sort of reacting when people sometimes are so passionate in front of you. And there's nobody that understands that more than me. Because in the last couple of years, I've had a lot of people passionate about different subjects. And I really feel like I gave them the time to vent. And I've done my best. I will not deal with negativity. And I don't like being around toxic people. And when that stuff happens, I try to diffuse that a little bit. And I think I do a pretty good job at it, and I respect everybody. I respect what everybody thinks. I don't try to change your thinking, And I try to sort of put myself in their position and try to go to a place that we all can live with. My value added is being a businessman in Talbot County and people reaching out to me. And that's one of the reasons I'm running. They're reaching out to me to get an answer. Okay? And I feel like I haven't told them the right answer all the time, but at least I can tell them yes or no, or we're working on it. Or, some business people or businesses need help. I mean, with this whole pandemic, the accomplishment of the council, of all 5 council people, I'm very proud of being able to contribute all that money that was given to us to distribute it out to all these businesses. We distribute somewhere around, I think, $1.2 million or $1.5 million. I could ask Cassandra, but it was a big number to be able to help these businesses stay in business, to contribute that. The emergency services is an ongoing helping them all the time. Okay, they're a big detriment to the community. Joe Gambrell and all these deputies, one of the biggest accomplishments we've had so far is putting them into the LEOPS program, which is a retirement program for the deputies. Those achievements, and we're working on that with the EMS people too. So those accomplishments are huge for the citizens of Talbot County to keep the retention here. That's what you have to really look at in today's world, keeping the retention here, keeping people here, and really the cost of living around here, trying to balance out housing around here, the market around here, just to try to help first-time home buyers, what we're going to do to give them a break, that type of thing. I sort of do, and I kind of stick with what I'm good at. I stick on the businesses. I want to make sure the businesses are all successful. Another big thing, and another big subject, is the school. Okay, so we've got Kelly's retiring, and now we got a new superintendent. So I'm looking really forward to meeting her. I haven't met her yet, and her qualifications, and helping the school board. They're 50% of our budget. So, I just met Cliff up to Chesapeake College, which is the president, and we talked about their programs with all the trades and stuff. So I'd like to blend them two together and make sure that the new superintendent, that we all sort of work collaboratively together. And that's to me, is right back to what you were talking about. Communication, being positive, making things work for the community. Working on EMS, emergency services, working on Joe Gambrell and his men and ladies at the deputies. There's just a lot of moving parts when it comes to being a council person. And there's a lot of people that need help too. And it's very gratifying to be able to help the community in some of these programs that, give them a little bit of money for food or give them money for housing, that type of stuff. And to be involved in something like that, to actually help somebody is a big detriment to the council. So I'd like to stay in that sort of format with me. I like to keep things simple. I'd like to maybe see, years to come. I'd like to be a big part of the budget to make sure we pull the chains back a little bit. We're very, very fortunate that we found a place for Joe Gambrell. Yep, we found a place for him, so that's a big accomplishment. Next 4 years we're going to be the airport is going to be under construction, so that's huge for the county. I think there's 8 of us, on the Republican side, and I think maybe
It was pulled back.
yeah. Okay, so there's 7, and then on the Democrat it's like 6. Yeah. So, at one time, when you and I met in 14, I was the same way. I was a sort of a fish out of water, was scared, didn't know what I was really getting into, but really knew that I wanted to help things. So I kind of feel that I don't know all the candidates on both sides, but I feel like that they're willing to put themselves out there and help the community. That's pretty phenomenal. There's a lot of work. I'm not sure that they understand the amount of time and work in business and family, and you're putting yourself out there, and you've got to be mentally prepared for some of the criticisms, because when you're in this position, not everybody likes you. So,
Or they don't like your policies.
don't like your policies. Then it becomes they don't like you. So, but you have to answer your question. I think we got some great candidates. It's a shame that we got to kind of pick and choose who we feel can do the job. But I don't see anybody that couldn't do the job. What I do see is, are they prepared of the commitment that you have to spend time-wise, because it's every day. It's every day that somebody's calling you, or somebody needs something, or you're trying to resolve some problems, or something to that effect, And it's late nights, We could come in with these guys right here that are doing their job now. These guys are great filming us, and they'll be there from 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So, it's been many, many nights to do that. And I probably wasn't, in fairness, maybe caught off a little guard about the amount of time. And you don't want that, if you have a job, you don't want that to mess with your job, so to speak. And I've tried to, over the years, not have the council stuff interfere with, me calling you and say I'm meeting a client. So I've tried to balance that out, and maybe the word is balance. The candidates really need to understand how to balance themselves on all this stuff, because it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of patience. Because when you're in front of that camera, everybody's looking at you, and everybody's sort of, calculating the do's and don'ts, and how is this lady or this man. I'm a type of person that I don't worry a whole lot. I try to find solutions. I think looking down at Talbot County, okay, there's some things that I look at as being on the council. I look at how to be able to pay for things, okay, and at the same time, we want to try to keep these taxes as low as we can. Okay, so that's sort of something I worry about. I worry about the safety and the health of people, okay? And then getting a little bit more broad is more of, like you were just saying, the equality of people, and making sure that everybody, has a place and, can reach out to us. and feel like they're being listened to. And I feel like we've done that, Dave. I really have. I feel like we've worked pretty hard in the last couple of years. We've had some, we've had the trap project, and we've had the statue, and we basically are getting past some of that stuff. And I feel like, hey, that's past, and it's move on and build from it. And that's kind of how I feel. I feel like I can contribute a lot in the next 4 years. I can help people understand some of the needs of Talbot County, because I know the needs, and I know what I've been doing for the last 8 years. And I feel like I've contributed and really put a really good, solid Talbot County place, because when the pandemic hit a couple years ago, everybody come in Talbot County, but I really value and love it here, and I want to be able to serve again and help people.